Hello, this is Kathy Vivian Fabian, KV Fabian, speaking to you from the Rose Studio of the Valuable Gallery. Today is Saturday, and I'm working on the studio work as usual. But the idea is to amass stock. I have about 100 copies of my work in the printer right now. Stock is stock. It's been my sad experience that if your stock is disorganized, you don't have stock. So I've been slowly and carefully, knowing my very straitened financial resources, I've been collecting portfolios for my larger works. And right now I'm in the process of trying to make a method to the madness so I could find out where I stored everything. And since I was doing that, I thought perhaps I'd film it and see if I could get a good, use it as a sounding board to see if I could get some ideas or some more support to preserve and sell my pretty extensive collection of my works created from the 1970s, actually all the way up till this time. So I'm going to leave the camera live. Wish me luck. And I know it's going to be at an angle, but I really don't know how to do it better. I just thought of it at time. I hope you could hear me as I shoot caution to the winds and continue my work to try and make sense out of my portfolios. So the first thing I thought to do was just get them in the portfolios so that I could at least keep them secure, if not organized. And as I'm doing this, I went through my sketchbooks and I had to do some cleaning. I got rid of some messy things, extra pages and very damaged work. I started to clean up the work that we made. And one important thing was to get rid of all the messy corners, the folded corners, and to put them in horizontal and vertical fashion so it's easy to flip through. The horizontal vertical problem came to me con brio when I started trying to film what I was doing and put them on lined rec books. Because one of the first problems, major problems that I encountered is how to show these things online. It seems very easy when you look in the children's shows on television and the like. They have always somebody going through a book, and it seems very easy how they do it. They just take the book out and they're flipping through the pages and they read your story. Well, it wasn't so easy for me. First thing, when I did things, I put them in some order, but I didn't worry about horizontal and vertical, which was not important when I was just completely preserving them. And the whole thing was a mess. I kept on dropping the book. I couldn't turn it fast enough. It was also an irritant. I didn't know how to keep it solid so it wouldn't slip. So what I did was, now I'm looking, finally I go down to the storage space, and I figured that means that's a good indication that maybe I could arrange things such that they are by horizontal and vertical, the books. So that's what I'm trying now. It seems okay. And then I thought to myself, how am I going to arrange it afterwards? I'm going to arrange it according to landscapes and group the landscapes with the landscapes and the portraits with the portraits. And I think what would be actually interesting would to do as much as possible things in a chronological order so far, according to date, so that you can see the progression of my works. They're not necessarily in any kind of order whatsoever vis-a-vis production. But I mean, I won't have all the heads and all the portraits and all the landscapes and the still lifes together. But at least you can see the kind of headspace, the creative headspace I was in as I put them again in chronological order. Some of these were dated right away, but a large amount of them were also dated when these were lost for a while. These had been missing for quite a good number of years. So they say that if you haven't if you haven't signed it when you created it, as soon as you get them, that's when you sign them. So even though these are signed like in 2016, they were created, they could have been created much earlier. If there's anyone really interested as to when the actual date they were created, there's a lot of experts around that might be able to do that, but for me, I have, you know, I don't know where to start. I'm not certainly trained in that field. Another thing is I like to go to the thrift shops to see if I could find all sorts of stuff. And there's a major supply of photo albums which are used by the general public. But vis-a-vis portfolios for art, I find very few. Actually none. So that means I have to go buy them new. And one of the things I encountered yesterday was they don't have the sizes I want in the store. In Montreal downtown, they have them somewhere far away, which I'll have to order online. And so this means that if you order online, you have to pay shipping costs unless you buy a certain amount of money. So I'm looking, I have quite a bit of work that I've just received. So I wanted to do it get the whole thing done on yesterday. But I'm going to take my time with it because I don't really know, I'm not really sure of what sizes I want. Except one, for the ones, because I have several of them that are too big to place into the spaces that I have. There's no more space. The largest one is maybe too large for these works. And there's simply no more work. There's no more space in the sizes that would fit, that are smaller. They also don't fit. They fit in, like, they would fit into the 18 by 24, I believe. But I think the general idea is to get things fitted into your portfolio as without being uncomfortable or damaging the work, as clearly the same size as possible, so that it doesn't move. These are archival quality, so it might be wrong, but I think that's basically the general idea. I think I'm going to leave it now, and I'll get back to you. It's a good 7 minutes. I will speak to you. This is KV Fabian signing off from the Raw Studio. Speak to you soon.